All right, everyone. Welcome to session two, part two of the bootcamp training for this Saturday. This is the last Saturday of the year. Can you believe it? Where did the year go? 2023 is almost behind us now. Now we're looking for 2024. So set your goals, set your dreams, put it down on paper. New Year's resolutions. We always do it every year. We say to ourselves, we're going to lose weight. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We write it down on paper. We sign up for new gym memberships. We do this. We do that. But we don't follow through. This next year is going to be totally different. We're going to write our goals down. We're going to shoot for the stars. Because when you start shooting for the stars, you won't come up with mud. But once you start shooting for the stars, there's great things can happen. Okay, but we're gonna follow through. We're gonna be consistent. We're gonna be on point. We're gonna, check our gauges and make sure that our tank is full. Okay, because your tank could be either empty, half full, but we want it full, right? By filling your tank, coming back to these trainings, trading, practicing, analyzing, charting, by doing these things on a consistent basis. Because I was just sharing with Edward that when you went to work, you were trained to do that job. All right. And you were consistently doing that job. Every time you clock in, you clock out, you do that same thing day in and day out. But when you start deviating from what they train you, they'll start scratching their head and say, why are you doing it that way? We taught you to do it this way. Right. And if you continue to do it the way they didn't teach you, they replace you and find somebody else that's going to do it the way they want them to do it. So it's no different here, right? There's no different in achieving the skill set. You want to make sure you have a trading plan. You want to follow your trading plan. You don't want to be a trader who just jumps into the market, like jumping into a pool without a life jacket. Okay, so the life jacket is there to help you save yourself if you start drowning and so on and so forth. So there's different things you'll need to do when analyzing the markets, right? You're going to want to set levels, right? Your stop losses, your take profits. And that way you're telling the market that if my trade hits this level, take me out. I want to profit from it. If it reverses on me and it doesn't go the way I predicted, because the market will do whatever it wants. But if it doesn't go in your direction, at least you have a stop loss below your trade that will stop you out and protect your account. Okay. So in my first session, we're analyzing the chart. We're doing a top-down analysis, right? Um, if you ever watched the first video, watch the video. There's a lot of great content on there. But towards the end of that video, I started analyzing the chart. Session two. So I'm going to pick up where I left off. So basically, we're in the monthly range right now. We're looking at the monthly chart, and we're trying to look at what market is doing for this particular month, right? So month of December, because each one of these candles, and again, if you don't know what these candles are, you want to read that trading, the Candlestick Bible book. Okay. So every one of these candles is a 1 month, 30-day duration candle. Okay. Now, we've determined that the market's an uptrend and it broke new levels, right? Because if you look left, it broke above these levels. Okay. Now we're on an uptrend, but look closely. Look closely at the market, and you'll notice something at the very top of the resistance level. You see a wick, right? This is a wick right here. Okay. Now, typically, if it's continuing trending upward, it'll have no wick, right? But if once you see a wick, typically what happens is with that wick, if I make it bigger, it's actually pulling back. Okay. Because on the top of that wick, right, was a new high. But now that it's trending downward, is reversing. So that's an indication that the market may retrace or reverse. But how do we know this? We go to the lower time frames. Okay, so we want to pay attention to what's going on because as you can see right here, the wick is a little tiny thing, and then it closed right like that. And then the next candle, it picked up from where that close was, and shot up throughout the whole 30 days. Okay, it made new highs, and now it's wicking right here, which means it's pulling back, right? So let's now go down to a lower time frame. But by charting this here, you put your levels, right? You always want to put your levels. Okay, we have a trend line. This is a trend line, which is an uptrend. We've determined it's going up. Okay. Um, we have a new resistance level and a new support level. Okay. We also want to put one more line. Okay. And this particular line, we want to use a horizontal line and put it below this red candle right here. This, when you put this line here, you're actually reminding yourself, you could change the color, maybe it red as a reminder and make it thicker, that if the market ever wants to reverse and goes below these red candles here, it's a downtrend. So you got a reversal right there. So it would have to break below these levels, this red line, right, for it to be a downtrend. Right now we're in an uptrend. So let's take a look at the 4 hour. Actually, no, we're going to go to the weekly and take a look at the market. Okay, so this is the weekly. So every one of these candles now are weekly candles. So we got to analyze these candles, right? We got to see, okay, what's going on in a weekly? Continuation of the uptrend. So because this line that we created on the monthly, and we'll make it darker, let's say, this is your trend line for upwards. We're looking for upward trend, taking buys. Okay, buys meaning you want to trade the market going up. Sells mean you want to trade the market going down. So bulls are buys, bears are sells. So we don't want to sell the market, not yet anyway, right? Because we have our levels. So we still have this red line. You'll adjust it every time you go to the lower time frames. We have this red line that if the market goes below this red line is a reversal. But now we're looking for buys, right? Just looking for buys. And we're looking to see if we can get into this market and continue the ride upward, okay? Because as you can see, it's going up, okay? All right, so we know that. All we did in this particular time frame is we moved our red line to the lower end of this red candle. So that's your gauge, okay? That's letting you know that if it comes back down this way and goes below that line, you're looking for reversals, okay? Now, we go from the weekly and we go down to the daily, right? So you're just going to do a top-down analysis. You're just looking at the chart. You're not placing any trades, and you're just putting your trend lines, your support and resistance levels, okay? All right, now, we're on the daily now, right? So we're going to analyze this. And you're saying to yourself, man, if I would have gotten into this trade a couple of days back, I would have profited from all of this, right? So this is all an upward trend, right? Because that's what we did from the monthly. The monthly told us that it's an upward trend. So every time frame is telling us the same thing, okay? So we don't have to move the red line because it's staying consistent because this is the red right here, okay? So yeah, we're still in the uptrend, but now we have some candles here that we got to pay attention to. We're going to pay attention to the red candles. Okay, so now we're going to take our horizontal line again, right? We're going to lock it up by creating this pencil with a lock, and we're going to start putting lines below the red candles. These are all the reversal candles. This is when the market came down and reversed, okay, and then bounced off that line and trending upward. So that's all we're doing. We're just putting lines on the reversals, okay? Below the red candles, below the red candles, okay? Being that this one is a major candle right here, okay? There's a concept called demand levels and supply levels. So demand levels, when you see a huge candle like these candles down here, you can actually say to yourself, okay, this is a demand level, and we're gonna put a box, rectangular box down here. Okay. Right. This is the demand level. And this is the level below that red level. What we want to do is wait for any reversals. If it ever comes down and hits this box, it may bounce off this box and continue to go up. But if it comes down and hits this box and goes through the box, it's going to have to touch the box on a reversal and to continue to go down. So that's going to be a box that we want to pay attention to. So we put that on the bottom red candle, okay? And then we just wait to see what happens. Patience is key in this market, so you got to be very patient. So now we're going to go to the 4 hour, okay? And we're taking a look at the market now. And we're trying to see what's going on here. Because remember I told you on the monthly, that little wick on the top was pulling back, right? So what's happening now on the 4 hour, you'll understand exactly why I said what I said, because on the very top of this candle or this market, you see this pin bar, okay? That particular pin bar is a reversal pin bar. As you can see, it's red. It's not white, okay? It's red. The Candlestick Bible says it's a pin bar, okay? It could be a shooting star going downward, right? And that's why you start seeing that wick on top of the monthly, because now it's a little pullback. Okay, so it's testing the resistance level that we put, well, support level, because it went past the resistance level, right? Because this was resistance. It went past the resistance level, and now it's pulling back. Now it's once it passes resistance level, it's now called support. Okay, and now it's coming back to touch support. See that right there? So what do we got to pay attention to? Okay, we got to pay attention to a couple of things on the 4 hour. Okay, remember I said you put lines below the red candles? So let's do that again. Okay, we're going to lock this up. We see a red candle here, a red candle here. We put it below the red candles. Okay, these are all reversal candles. It pulled back, bounced off, went back up, pull back, bounced off, went back up, pull back, bounced off, went back up, pull back, bounce off, went back up, made a higher high. Okay, made a higher high. And now what happens is, oh, let's erase that. Okay, so what happens is we have an uptrend here because we know we were in uptrend, but now we're seeing to see if it's going to close below any one of these red candles or red lines, right? As you can see, this candle here, it pulled all the way below this, but it didn't close below it. All right. So that means it's still in an uptrend because we have some red candles here. So I also have to put a line here. And of course, a line on top right here on this candle. All right. And then make this one a little thinner. Okay, so these are all the reversal candles. I put a line under. Okay, so if one of these candles closes below, let's say 1, 2, 3 consecutive candles, 1, 2, 3, then we're looking for reversals. Okay, we're looking for reversals. But as you can see, this candle right here did not close below this red candle over here. So basically, it went back up. The next very candle, it came back down and touched it and went back up. So we're still in an uptrend. Okay. Now, if it were to close below this candle and then continue to close below these red lines, then we have a reversal. Okay. Then we're looking at taking trades on the downside. But now we're still looking at taking trades on the upside. Okay. Now we're going to go to the 2 hour. Okay. So charting your chart, you're charting up your chart is what we're doing right now, what I'm doing right now. I'm just showing you how I do it. You choose your own technique for that matter, but this helps me to analyze the charts, right? Okay, so what do we see here? We're on the 2 hour. We see a couple of things going on. As you can see, right? We have our red lines, right? We can also put more red lines because there's a couple of more red candles. Okay, so we're going to put one here. And we're going to put one. That was it right there. And we could put one right here. So the reason why I put these red lines is to remind me that if the market closes below any one of these red lines, I'm looking at reversals. If it bounces off the red lines, I'm looking for buys. Okay, so we already know that we're in an uptrend. So we're going to continue to watch the market and try to find a trade, okay, and continue to ride the market upward. Okay. Now, that's the 2 hours. We just put a couple lines in the 2 hour. Okay. And we're going to put one more line because we have a new resistance level on top. Okay. Well, now we're going to go to the hourly and see what's going on. Okay. So do I need to add any more lines here? Okay. Yes, I do. Below this red candle. Okay. That's only one I want to put there. Okay. We're going to go to the 30 minutes and see if there's anything I need to put here. Okay. Nope. All right. 15-minute. Okay. Now you could change up the different colors. Now we're on the 15-minute. I'm going to put a red candle below, a red line below this. Okay. That's the most recent low. All right. And we're going to try to execute our trades on the 5-minute. Okay. So executing our trades in the 5-minute. We're looking for a place to place a buy in the 5-minute. Right now, there's nothing here unless you watch my most previous video on how to look for inverted head and shoulders. Okay. This is an inverted head and shoulders. Now, study what that is. An inverted head and shoulders is a reversal setup for a buy. Okay. So if we were to take our tool, which is a head and shoulders tool, we can see, based on our red lines, right? We can see that there was a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. This is an inverted head and shoulders. Okay. So train your eye to see these. These are setups. These are the winning setups, right? So once you start seeing an inverted head and shoulders, now, number one, you're knowing that it's still an uptrend. Number two, it came down, right? Hit this red line, and we saw that in the previous time frames, and then bounced off that line and started trading up. But now that you put an inverted head and shoulders, right? If you were in the market at this particular time frame, you could have put your order in somewhere over here and for it to continue to ride upward. Okay. Because what do we see here? Okay. I like to I like to continue to graph out my head and shoulders. So let me continue to show you what I do. So I actually put another box on the neckline right here. Okay. You could put it here. And then I put another box from the bottom, from the top of the neck to the bottom. And then I take this box, I clone it, and put it right on top of it. All right. All right. Because once I do this, I now know how to set my stop loss. My stop loss will be below the neck here, that if it reverses, I want out of the market. But my take profit will be right here on top of this box. Okay. And this works at least 60% of the time. Whereby if you place an order, let's say anywhere in this general vicinity, let's say on the right shoulder, right? You want to do a long position. Let's say you entered here. You set your TP right here and your stop loss down here for at least a 1 to 2. Okay, or this is actually going to be a 1 to 1.68, 1.86. Okay, but if you look right, look what happens. If you had to place an order here, it would have hit your take profit here, either on this wick here, you would have profited from the trade, and or right here. Okay, but look at it overall. It never came back down to hit your take profit on your stop loss, which is a winning trade, which is pretty nice. So this is what all I trade. I trade head and shoulders and inverted head and shoulders. This happens to be an inverted head and shoulders. Okay. So you look for this setup on upward trends, because if it does it again, it'll do it again over here. Okay. All right. So it'll come down. This is just a prediction. Well, it's not going to probably do this, but you can try to predict the market. Okay. You can try to predict the market. It's right here. You can try to predict the market for it to come back to this box, this level here, and create another head and shoulders. Okay. So that's what you are, inverted head and shoulders, by the way. Okay. So you wanted to do one of these numbers, 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 and you have another inverted head and shoulders. Okay. So this setup right here, you got your right shoulder, you got your neck, you got your left shoulder, well, left, right, and then you have a inverted head and shoulders. Okay. So you can always do that to, predict the market. If it goes in that direction, then you'll be in another winning trade. If not, you just watch it. Like I said, these red lines here are indications that if it comes down and breaks below this red line, it's no longer an inverted head and shoulders. Okay. It'll probably be a head and shoulders and create something going in the opposite direction. Okay. All right. So that's one thing you want to pay attention to. All right. So all I really trade is those two patterns. S Study those patterns. Okay. Chart them out. Go to YouTube, maybe watch other video trainers, other Forex traders teaching you what the head and shoulders is. That way you get a true understanding how to train your eye to find those setups, because it happens a lot in the market. A lot. Because if and you want to back test, right? You always want to back test. Look left and see if you can see it again with historical data, right? See if you see it again. Okay. Always look left. See if you see it again. Okay. This could be one right here. This general area. This could be one right here. This general area. And you're just trying to train your eye to find a neck, two shoulders. A neck and two shoulders. A neck and then shoulder, shoulder. These are all reversals. Okay. Neck, right? This will be hard just to determine whether it was a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. But if you don't see it set up in that particular fashion I just showed you, don't take the trade. Wait for another one. Like look over here. Look for a neck. Look for some shoulders. Okay. So you're probably asking, okay, now that I see a head and shoulders, where on earth am I going to take this trade? Okay. Well, let's take a look at that real quick. You want to take it on a bullish candle. Okay. If we go back to our head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders over here, what do we see? If I was to delete all this stuff here, we see this candle being a bullish candle, a bullish candle is a candle that engulfs the previous candle. Okay, this is an indication that the market's going to go higher. Okay, because it did on the next candle, it continued to go higher off of this bullish engulfing candle. Okay, so as you can see, it's bigger than the candle before it, and it's bouncing off, right? The shoulder. So this candle is your candle to say, hey, into the market here. If you missed it, okay, it's okay. You just wait. You just wait. Okay. You just wait for another one to develop. Okay. So hopefully you guys got some value out of that. This was a perfect trade. If you had caught this trade, you would have made some serious money here, depending on your lot size. Okay. Your lot size will determine how much profit you would make in the market. But this was a really good trade because it really never came down to hit your stop loss, which is nice. But it did take your take profit. So practice creating these boxes when you see an inverted head and shoulders. Okay. So that's pretty cool. So that's US 30. You can also go to other pairs and do the same thing. Just train your eye, right, to look for either a head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders. So let's go to GBP USD. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. So here, GBP USD, a lot going on, right? Let's start with the 1 hour. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, and you want to pan out to see the whole thing, right? Because by panning out and seeing the whole thing, you can see where the inverted head and shoulders are. Like there's a neck here, there's a neck here. Okay, you look for the long parts of a downward trend. They're all considered necklines, and you just try to see if you can find an inverted head and shoulders. Okay. All right. Look at that. Inverted, inverted. And you just train your eye. Inverted. Oh, this would be a perfect head and shoulders right here. You see the neckline, you see the couple of shoulders here, and then you just write it up. Okay. So train your eye to there. Then you see a head and shoulders over here from the top down. Okay. Head and shoulders mean that it's going in the opposite direction. So now you want to take sell trades down here. All right. You could have rolled this down. You could have rolled this up and really profit from here. All right. You could have rolled this up. You can also practice doing this on your charts. Okay, here's another head and shoulder. So you go to the top and you plot out everything. You go to the bottom, you plot out everything. You don't want to trade in the middle of a trend. You want to trade on the top of the trend and on the bottom of the trend. Okay, so you set alerts, and you can set your alerts by hitting this clock over here, and you set the number. You tell the alert that if the market comes down to this support line, let me know, because I want to start looking at either inverted head and shoulders at the support line, or let me know when it gets to the top of the market, because I want to look at it at head and shoulders. If a head and shoulders develop on the top of the market, I want to trade it down. If an inverted head and shoulders happen on the bottom of the market, I want to trade it up. So those are the two things that I look for. That's it. Those are the two things I look for. Top, look at that. And then the bottom. Top, see, top, trade it down. And you can go to your charts and do the same thing. You go to the top, pick your trend line. Look at that. All of that would have been a winning trade. Bam. All right. Let's practice doing that. And then, look at this. My head and shoulders could have developed over here. You have your support. You take the top, trade it up. So the market goes in cycles. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. Okay. Like right here, we stay away from a sideways market. You don't want to trade a sideways market because you get stuck in this market. Okay. So if I see a sideways market, what I'm doing is putting a box around it. Okay. Putting a box around this whole thing right here is a sideways market. And you could trade the breakout because once it comes out of the box, it'll be a breakout. This is a breakout trade right here. Okay. But it's short lived. But then what happens? It reverses. It's another sideways market right here. Clone that. And this is what you do. Put it over here. And look at that. That was a breakout trade. We'll talk about breakouts in the future trainings, but this was a breakout trade because it came back and touched the box and continued to go up. All right, this is a sideways market. This is a perfect inverted head and shoulders. I love this right here. Okay. And look at that. It continued to go all the way up until it came like over here. Amazing. Okay. Yeah. And that's pretty much what I do. All right, so hopefully you guys got some value out of this training. Practice, practice, practice. Stay tuned for future trainings and so on and so forth. If you got questions, you can write them in the comments area and ask your questions. If you want to touch on a specific idea or a strategy, let me know because we'll be doing patterns. I'll be teaching you patterns. I'll be teaching you how to read the charts. I'll be teaching you everything you need to know. Everything that I know, I'll be teaching you to become effective when analyzing your charts and so on and so forth. So you can take winning trades. But yeah, with 2024, I look forward to just, helping you guys reach your goals and eventually achieving your dreams. So stay tuned, stay plugged in, and stay active. So with that being said, thanks so much for watching, and you guys have a wonderful new year, a prosperous one at that, and may God continue to bless you and your family. Take care, everybody. Bye.